Hello thrillers, join me and let's make this basic dress with a v-neck and a waist belt. Okay, I have my fabric here folded already. This is the front, it's unfold, and also this is the back, which is also unfold. So to know the amount to fold, it is the highest body circumference. In my case, it is the hip divided by 4 plus 2 inches. That's the amount to fold. Okay, and as you can see, this is the front, placed 2 inches after the back. It is placed, that is the zipper allowance, and I'm making use of a zipper allowance of 1.75 inches. I want to use 0.5 to turn it with the lining. 0.5 to turn with the lining. That is to give it a neat inside finishing. Okay, so I just marked 1.75 all the way down and ruled it straight. Then after that, I placed my front. After that, I mark a straight line, which is the shoulder line of 1/2 inch. Then from there, okay, notice where I'm starting to take this measurement. That's after the zipper allowance. I mark the shoulder to shoulder divided by 2. 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches. That's what I marked. And the neck width I'm using is 3 inches. The neck depth for the front, for the back is 1.5. For the front is 7 inches. Okay, then I'm marking my shoulder to waist, shoulder to bust, shoulder to hip, and the dress length I want to use. Then I'm just repeating it, and I will mark a straight line. So I'm using a hemming allowance of 2 inches. Okay, just as you can see. Then I just repeated the shoulder to shoulder just to have a straight line, and I drew a straight line there. That is my armhole. Okay, so the armhole circumference is 18 inches divided by 2 is 9 inches, and that's what I marked. And you know our shoulder is not straight, so a shoulder slant of 1 inch, then you connect it to the neck. Okay, so you measure what you have there, divided by 2. This is for the front, please, because the front has bust, it's kind of inside. So you measure it divided by 2, find the midpoint, and from there I'm going in by 1/2 inch. All right, just follow what I'm doing. I connected it this way. Okay, then your bust circumference divided by 4, that's what you're going to mark there. Waist circumference divided by 4, you mark. The hips plus 1, because we are going to add that to this dress, so I just added 1 immediately. Hip circumference divided by 4, that's what I'm marking. And at the hemline, just take out 2 inches from whatever you marked at your hip, because it's a pencil dress, and mark it there. All right, so you go ahead and connect everything. After connecting, we're going to add the same allowance we have for zip, that's 1.75 at the side. Then you mark it out. After that, you go ahead and complete the armhole connection. You know, for the front, just connect it just as you see me do. And the back, the back is straight, so you just connect it this way. Then to add our waist dart, nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches. So on the waist, I went in by 4 inches, and then I'm taking in 1/2 inch on both sides. You know, that's the regular dart. On the bust too, I also mark the 4 inches on the hip line, the 4 inches, and I'll connect a straight line. So because we don't want to have the dart pointing towards the bust, you come down from the bust by 1 inch, and on the hip line you go up by 2 inches, and you're going to connect it as so. All right, after that, we've already replaced that on the waist 1 inch. So you mark out your neck. I'll add 0.5 sewing allowance to the back neck, the front neck, the shoulder line, the armhole line. All right, this is it. So I followed the shape for the front, and I added 1/2 inch. I followed that of the back, and I added 1/2 inch also. So just watch carefully. After that, to take care of the zipper bolt for the back, from the waist, I went in by 0.75. You can also use 0.5, and I connected it as so, you know, to the tip of the neck and downwards. So from the true measurement of the waist, we also go in by 0.75, as you see me do, and I also connect it as so. Just see what I'm doing. So this now becomes our new zipper allowance. Okay, so because of this, if we cut it, it's going to shorten our actual measurement of the waist by 0.5. So what we are going to do is we are going to replace that, sorry, by 0.75. So we'll now have to replace that 0.75 on the sides. Okay, so just see what I'm doing. I added 0.75 back, you know. So this line now, this broken line is the back. So okay, I have a video on how to do this. I will link it up. All right, so I'll go ahead and cut for the back first. Just see what I'm doing. I'm cutting for the back first, even for the armhole, the back first, the neckline, the back first. All right, I'm now trimming up the zipper. bulge I have there. All right, after that, the dart for the back extends up to the chest. So what I did was to poke there, with my needle, and then on the back, I'm going to mark there. So when I'm sewing, I will start from there. And also, I'm also doing the same thing for these ones, just poke there and this way to trace it to the back. Just follow what I'm doing. It's actually preferable to do your markings on your lining before, so you now use your lining to cut your main fabric. Now go ahead and cut on your lining both the front and the back. So I will now take out my back and use the armhole for the front, trace it. You get? I'll trace it as you see me do, to add allowance, and then I'll cut out the shape of the back. Cut out everything that concerns the back everywhere. So that is it. Okay, I've gone ahead to cut my lining too, and I've marked the dart lines, and on the hemline I'm going to reduce the lining by 2 inches, both for the front and the back. So that's what I marked, and I've cut it out. Okay, for the sleeve I have a fabric I'm folding like this for the two sleeves. Okay, all right, I have the lining underneath, and I've also marked my starting point line, and from there I come down by 4 inches, but you can use the formula to calculate yours, coming down by 4 inches. Okay, and I'll also mark it. Then remember, our armhole circumference was 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches. So that's what I'm just achieving there, and I'll find the midpoint, and from this part I went up by 0.75 inches, and I'm going to mark this is for the back. Then for the front, on that point I just went in by ½ inch, and I'm just creating a curve this way. Okay, I have a video on how to do this, and I'll link it on the top right, or you check the comment section or the description box. So I'll follow the shape for the front, add allowance, follow the shape for the back, add sewing allowance too. The sleeve length is 5½ inches, that's what I'm marking. Okay, then the bicep circumference, that's the upper arm circumference, divided by 2, you mark it there and you connect. So I'm adding 1 inch sewing allowance, hemming allowance, and I'm adding allowance too, and I'm cutting for the back first. All right, after that you open it up this way, and on one side you cut the shape of the front as you see me do. Okay, you just follow it and you cut. So this one on the upper side will be the right side, okay, and this will be the left side. All right, so you have the same thing on your lining. You reduce your lining by just ½ inch, just the way we did for the main dress. I reduced mine with ½ inch, and that is it. So this is for the belt, and it's measuring 45 inches, both the sewing allowance, and the weight is 2.5 on fold. So you go ahead and you just sew it this way as you see me showing you, all the way up there. So to go to the sewing proper, it is the right side of the front facing the lining. So you push the lining, the lining is shorter, but you take it to the hem, you sew there by ½ inch. When you are done, you're going to drag it up just as you see me do, and then you sew the side with that 0.25 inches I was saying from the beginning, just 0.25. Sew it the both sides. All right, then you also sew the neckline by ½ inch. That's sewing allowance we left. All right, you also do the same for the back side, just as you see me showing, and also for the sleeve, you take it down, sew the hem by ½ inch. When you're done, you're going to turn it out from the armhole inside out, and then you go on and sew your dart. So you fold it this way, start from the top side, you back stitch, then you take it downwards, just that shape we drafted. All right, you do the same for the other side, do the same for the back. When you're done, this is what you have. Okay, just as you see, and as you can see, I've gone ahead to attach my zipper. If you don't know how to do so, I will link it on the comment section or the description box. I also link it on the top right, so you click on it and get how to attach your zipper. Then the next thing is to join it on the shoulder. So right side facing right side, instead of sewing it straight away, we are going to use the lining of the back. We want to achieve a neat shoulder line. Turn it just as you see me do, okay, and arrange it properly. All right, then you sew it ½ inch. Do the same thing for the other side. When you are done, because we don't want the lining to kind of come out on the neckline, so you're going to use a hemming gum, place it just as you see me do, align it properly, and then you iron it so that the lining cannot come out. After that, the next thing is to attach our sleeve. All right, so you see need of making your lining shorter at the hemline. If you want to have your armhole line, the raw edge covered up just as you will see mine, all right, I have a tutorial on that too, and I will also link it up. Okay, you see the shoulder, the armhole line is neatly sealed. I have a tutorial on that. I will link it up, so you click and watch. Now you place it properly, right side to right side, arrange everything. I went ahead to pin the slit opening. I pinned it, so that I will have a perfect shaping. All right, you pin yours, and then remember we took out 0.5 from the 1.75 inches sewing allowance we have. So now the sewing allowance is 1.5, so I'm going to measure 1.5 on the sides. All right, or if you still have your mark, yeah, go ahead and you join your side. Okay, do the same thing for the other side, mark it out. Or if you don't want it that way, you can just go ahead and still remeasure, mark your waist, shoulder to hip, and then from the center line, just as you see, you mark your bust circumference divided by 4 again. You mark your waist circumference divided by 4. You just keep doing it on both sides, so you have a perfect measurement again. It's just what I'm showing you. On your hip, the same thing, and then you mark it out. It's a very simple dress. So now you see the sides, how neat they are. Okay, so this is my belt. I've turned it inside out, and on the waistline I just put it inside, sandwich it inside. Okay, I've pinned it down, the raw edge, I've pinned it down, and I do the same for the other side too. Then I will start sewing this from the sleeve. And if you're done, this is what you have, our beautiful dress, neatly finished, no raw edge showing, everywhere neatly finished. Okay, I went ahead to use hemming gum. Okay, I top stitched on this slit. I top stitched, and I used hemming gum to gum that part. All right, and this is all for this tutorial. I hope you found value with this. It's a very simple one. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, please share. All right, see you in my next one. Bye.